If you want to know how to get more taxes back on your small business tax return, I'm going to share with you the 3 reasons an estimated 90% of small business owners are overpaying by the billions on their business tax return. Stay tuned to the end of this video where I will give you the #1 secret on how to get your biggest tax refund this year and every year moving forward. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell for notifications to get more videos on entrepreneur advice, small business tax tips, and how to make more money working less. When I'm speaking at an event on how to get more tax money back and run your business like a professional, I always start off with the idea that tax season should be something you look forward to, not something to dread. So let me know in the comments, do you love or hate tax season? The reason I start off most of my speaker talks like this is because the vast majority of business owners feel like they're being penalized at tax season. And this is really not the case. You see, there's 3 reasons that small business owners are overpaying on their taxes year after year. And once you understand these 3 reasons and the truth behind them, then you'll be set up to get an even bigger tax refund. So reason #1 is the fear of the IRS. If you feel like the IRS is out to get you when it comes to taxes for self-employed entrepreneurs, then you immediately become fearful of taking tax deductions, which means you're getting a much smaller tax refund than you should be. Have you ever wondered whether to write off a business expense and decided against it in the hopes that you won't get audited or get in trouble? Well, this is a prime example, and it's because you don't fully understand the purpose of deductions when it comes to small business tax filing. You see, our economy could not function without businesses like yours because our economy functions through the exchange of money through products and services. The more money people spend, the better the economy does. And so the government wants to reward you for being a business owner. But they can't just cut a check and send it to you because you're a business owner. So what they do is they have put into place a system called tax deductions. And what that does is normally a person or a business is going to be taxed on the income that they make. But in a way to reward you, the government is saying that if you spend money on expenses that actually help you run and operate your business, then we are going to take that amount of money and we are going to lower the amount that we are taxing you on. So let's say, for example, you make $1,000. Now, if you were a general everyday person making that with a paycheck, then let's say for this example, you're being taxed on that $1,000. But as a business owner, if you go out and you spend money on advertising, you spend money on hosting a website, then all of a sudden that money is going to be counted as a tax deduction. So if you spend $300 on operating expenses for your business, instead of taxing you on $1,000, then they are going to lower the amount of your taxable income to $700. So that means that you're being taxed less, you're paying the government less, or you're getting back a bigger tax refund. So guys, this is a super simple generalized explanation. If you want a more detailed explanation, make sure to reach out to your tax preparer to really go over all the fine details. But I just want you to understand the concept that the government is using tax deductions in order to tax you less to put more money back into your pockets. This is how they are rewarding you for helping our economy grow. So you see, there's no reason to fear the IRS. They're not out there to penalize you. They're out to reward you. But like all good things, they want to make sure that they're rewarding you in an honest, fair way, that you aren't out there cheating the system, because we know a few bad eggs ruin it for everybody, right? So that's where your small business bookkeeping really comes into play, because by having a good system with your small business bookkeeping, you're able to clearly show that yes, these expenses were legitimately used to run my business. And then the IRS can say, okay, great. If you're legitimately using it to run your business, then yes, you are doing a good job. We are able to reward you the full amount. The second reason many entrepreneurs overpay when it comes to filing taxes for LLC or any small business is because they don't really understand what expenses are tax deductible. They think that a tax preparation checklist is going to solve all their problems, but that isn't the case. If you want deductions for taxes explained, then you really need to understand that tax deductions are all a matter of opinion. It comes down to, did you use that expense for your business? And if so, then what tax deduction category does it fall into? Once you see the general categories that most expenses fall into, then you can place almost any business expense into one of those categories. I have a free tax deduction cheat sheet that will help you do just that. Grab it in the links below. The other point that I teach students in my 5-minute bookkeeping course is that it's not your job to know exactly 100% where to place these expenses. It's your job, however, to assign every expense possible to a tax deduction category. It's your accountant's job to verify that you've placed that expense in the proper tax deduction category. This takes a burden of knowledge and accuracy off of you and puts it onto the proper person, the person who's educated in the tax law. So if your bookkeeping records are organized and complete, then your CPA can get to work doing what he or she does best, getting you the biggest tax refund possible. If your bookkeeping records are a mess or are incomplete, then your CPA has nothing to work with, and you'll end up paying a pretty penny on your taxes for small business. And honestly, if you have a good bookkeeping system in place, it should really only take you 5 minutes. Let me know in the comments below if you feel like your bookkeeping records are organized and neat, or if you really struggle in this area. Okay, the last factor on how to get more tax money back is to document your expenses in a timely manner. That's right. Reason number 3 that 90% of entrepreneurs are overpaying on their taxes is because of procrastination. Think about it. Let's say you go to the store and you buy something for your business, but you don't actually record it for a month or two. By the time you get to recording the information, most likely you're looking at a checking account statement or a credit card statement, and all that information is going to give you is the merchant, the business name that you did the purchase. It's not actually going to tell you what you purchased. But let's say, for example, you did keep the receipt. Well, unfortunately, a lot of items that are listed on the receipt are either abbreviated to where it's really hard to understand or remember what the item was, or they will even just use the item number. So it doesn't even give a description. And that means that you're out of luck with being able to prove, to showcase what the reason was for that purchase. And if you check out my video on business tax deductions for self-employed, then you're going to understand that you must actually document the business purpose of the expense in a way that proves that the item is ordinary and necessary to the operation of your business. So the best thing that you can do is update your business bookkeeping at least weekly. The sooner you can update it, the better. That ensures that you get the most accurate records, that you're not leaving any money on the table because you've forgotten about an expense. So as promised, the number one secret to get your biggest tax refund 2023 is to have an organized bookkeeping system in place. You want to be able to quickly and easily document all of the information that you're going to need when it comes to tax time. If you're doing this documentation right away when the expense is purchased, then when tax season comes, you're going to be done without actually having to do any work. You can learn more about the 5-minute bookkeeping method on my free webinar. The link is in the description below. And make sure to grab the free ultimate tax deduction cheat sheet to make sure that you're getting an idea of how to classify all of these different expenses to ensure that you get your biggest tax refund possible. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button, subscribe, and share it with a fellow entrepreneur. And if you're looking for a simple breakdown of the exact things you need to track when it comes to tax season, then make sure to watch this video or check out my Bookkeeping 101 playlist.